Okay, I think the easiest way I can explain eternity is imagine upon your death, you wake up on a train that's pulling into Clapham Junction. And once you get to Clapham Junction, you've got a week to decide whether or not you want to take the train down to Brighton, down to Somerset, up to Liverpool. Well, you've got a week to decide where you want to go to spend eternity. Well, Elizabeth Olsen, Miles Teller, and the other dude's character, they all, this happens to them. So their characters are dead, and they're in this sort of, it's purgatory, basically, surrounded by all other random characters who have also died, and they're all branching off into their own eternities. Now, it's a story of crossed wires, confusion, and kind of tragedy, but at the same time, it's very confused within itself, whether it's a comedy, like a farce, because some parts are, or whether it's deadly serious. So right. So let me wind back. So basically, at the beginning, the movie opens with the two much older characters. So Elizabeth Olsen and Miles Teller's characters, very old. And at first I was like, right, but I thought this, the publicity and the trailer and everything showed them as youngsters, like the young versions. And I was like, right, what's happening here? So they do get old? They don't. They obviously die when they're older. The point being, so the whole concept is when they're in purgatory, they revert back to their happier self. So they go back to the age that they were at their most, sort of splendid. So, right, this is, all right, let me just, there's different elements to eternity that I should point out. So, if I start with the positives, it's kind of like The Good Place meets The Truman Show. So, do you remember back in The Truman Show where all the set was fake? Obviously, fake moon, fake backing, the sea and everything. There's elements to this movie that sort of capture that kind of essence. The purgatory is completely fake. I don't know whether it was done on purpose or not, but yeah, it is truly fake. And The Good Place being when Kirsten Bell's character has obviously got to decide like which door she's going through, where she's where she is destined to end up, that kind of thing. I love this concept. Okay, I'm actually struggling a bit here because I'm still very half and half about eternity. I was really geared up for it, but I've come out of that screen thinking, what was that? It seems as if the writers, Elizabeth Olsen and Miles Teller, were the exec producers of this. So I was kind of surprised about that. But yeah, which path was it taking? Ironically, it matches the story. Which door is it going through? So shall I spiral on that, or we'll come back to the positives? Positives. Okay, so the concept. Excellent. I love anything to do with like the afterlife, and it's it's that whole thing of entering purgatory, having to decide where to spend the next eternity, basically, and who to spend it with. Most of the backing characters obviously haven't got an issue. They're probably all single or dearly beloved, dearly departed. So yeah, they're all fine. But yeah, Elizabeth and Miles' characters, Joan and Larry, they're in this real, like, it's kind of tragic, the like anguish that they experience of like he knows he wants to spend eternity with her, but she's torn between him and the other guy. So the other character is this chap who died serving in the war, who's waited like 60 odd years for her to die to join him, but she's got Larry. Are you following? It's kind of confusing, but yeah, the concept is good, and it was clearly penned as well. The writing for this is clearly penned by someone who's actually thought very deeply and very poignantly about where we move on to, who we should spend our eternity with, if there is one, that whole thing of being trapped by the decision of like who to spend it with. Now, aside that, there are, I liked that. The writing and the concept, brilliant. It's almost dystopian, but kind of deathly dystopian. Excellent. Like I say, that's great. And the the characters. It's the characters. It's the back. For me, in a movie like this, it's the what's happening. How sinister is the afterlife, or mid to afterlife, that type of thing. So it's sort of like the mysterious world they enter. I love that. Slight negative, there wasn't enough of that, but they do focus a lot on the whole worlds that you can move on to. So like America world, or cowboy world, or like infant world, where you regress to being a baby, or it's really weird. Some really twisted shit happening here. So the concept and the set, excellent. Now they sort of act as compares. I think is it Davine Joy Randolph? She's brilliant. So she's basically the AC, the afterlife coordinator, when Larry first arrives, and subsequently Joan. She's just brilliant. Her and the other guy. I googled him halfway through. Can't remember his name, but yeah, those two. They act as like the comic relief, and they're brilliant. Their delivery, the comic timing is excellent stuff. So, sort of baked into the whole afterlife mysterious, as twisted as it is, concept, you've got some comedy running throughout. Okay. The negatives. I didn't know whether I was laughing or crying, or was I meant to feel as like, the anguish that they were feeling. Elizabeth Olsen she's brilliant. She's so versatile, Elizabeth. Hats off to her, because at one point she's like, she's darting around like these wide-eyed facial expressions. It's really, I think WandaVision, where she's like strutting around the house in her dress, sort of like, oh no, that kind of thing. So she's like a damsel in distress. Then she moves into amazing dramatics, like the levels of dynamics there were just spectacular. She's brilliant. Okay, got that? But 1 minute I'm laughing. No, well, 1 second I'm laughing. Next second, I'm like, oh my God, that's really tragic. I think that's my pain point here with Eternity, is it should have been, like going back to the person who first had this idea. I've explained in previous reactions how death, like losing someone, it could be tragic, you could be in tears, on the ground in pieces, but then you could be laughing due to the fond memories. Did Eternity mirror that same emotion of losing someone perfectly, or is it just a very, very confused film that should have gone one, like door A or door B? Should it have been farcical, like darting around the afterlife, like, oh my God, I've picked the wrong fucking person, or should it be, should it have been like this real, like, tragedy? I was baffled. No. I was really looking forward to this. Oh God, I took half day today. I brought my laptop down to Wetherspoons, beavering away as you do. Took half day and thought, I'll go catch that Elizabeth Olsen film. It looks like hilarious, because on the poster, it used to come up on one of these digital screens. She's like sat there like this real. She's brilliant at her like sort of twisted facial features, isn't she, Elizabeth? So she looks like really dumbfounded, and the guys are like, what? That kind of thing. It looks funny. But I got the total opposite. How this actually spiraled, it shifted very, very quickly from a fascinating concept that balanced the sort of, the splendor and the mystery, almost majestic mystery of the afterlife, with heartbreak, pain, being confused about who you actually love. Shit. I would, because towards the end, actually, by the time the credits rolled, I was like, I was just sat there, like, I actually did that's it, I remember now, I'm thinking back to when I was in the screen, I did the whole, like, I was really, really disappointed. Shit. So, this whole, like, ending up at Clapham Junction, like I say, and you've got a week to decide which train you get into the afterlife. Phenomenal. excellent and brilliant. Some real heartfelt thought went into that. I get the impression that the writers, perhaps Elizabeth and Miles themselves also, because that's a bit of a bizarre pairing. How did they come up? What was it? Drinks at an after party thing, and they just, oh hey, what about this idea? They're throwing ideas about that. How did that come about? Bizarre pairing, but yeah, perhaps it is based. It's supposed to be very poignant on the actors or writers' personal experiences of losing people. Right, okay, so got that all out of the way, that's fine. So you've got your positives, you've got your negatives, confused storyline. I just want, side note, I loved I thought about this, like when you die, seeing like sections of your life. This has to get a mention because it was a brilliant piece of writing. During Eternity, when they visit different places and see different worlds, each world, so whether it's Beach World or like Candy World or fucking Cinema World going by, I swear to God, this is all I'm going to see. I'm just going to be trapped in this foyer screaming at the camera. I lost my train of thought now because I was so hilarious then. What was I saying? Yeah, right. What they call the archives, like a hall of fame that shows the person who enters sections of their life. So when Joan, Elizabeth Olsen's character, goes in, she sees there's a snapshot of when she was being bullied by these girls at school, or a girl growing up. You've got a teenager, a friend of hers is comforting her as she's crying, and then it spans through her life. Oops. The cops. I think someone might have reported me for shouting. Bring it on. So, yeah, the archives. I'm so glad that was incorporated as one of the elements because, yeah, it's showing the character, the lead character, various sections of her life as an infant, as a teenager, having her first child, getting married, losing her husband. It's really, really touching. And I enjoyed that very much. There wasn't enough. Yeah, no, there wasn't enough. That was a nice touch. But again, so I've mentioned this briefly. I'm gonna have to end this at 12 minutes talking about something I really didn't enjoy that much. It wasn't focused on enough. And it's funny because I mentioned The Good Place, Kirsten Bell's comment, Netflix sitcom, I think we can call it. That focuses way too much. It goes OTT on that. She doesn't just arrive in the afterlife. You've got all manner of distinguishing characters. You've got bonkers characters, deadly serious characters. You've got the comic relief, the people who are sort of pop in and hop out. She's jumping between doors, between worlds. There's giant insects and beautiful buildings, flowers, costumes, the lifestyle, the humour, the tragedy, the people. It goes way above and beyond The Good Place. This is the polar opposite. Joan arrives in the afterlife, or Larry, he's got the first ticket, and yeah, it's it's just really undercooked. There's a backing of the whole, like I say, slightly Truman Show-esque. There's a fake. They sort of pull the curtain down that's got the moon on it and stuff. Kind of tacky as well. So as well as undercooked, it was a tacky set. It set the scene, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. It was just undercooked. And I'd loved for there to have been more focus on other characters who have entered this sort of purgatory afterlife. Do you know what I mean? Right, so I think I've had enough talking about it now because I'm actually quite disappointed. I can't be arsed anymore. So, the concept. Arriving at a train station, or pulling in. There it is. Eternity. The fucking misleading poster that lured me in before pissing me off. So yeah, it does. It's top-notch concept, and it's bizarre. It's wonderful. I love that. There was an episode of Doctor Who as well years ago that where they enter the afterlife. It's fascinating. Love it. having to decide between the man who's waited 60 odd years, Joan has lived out the rest of her life and then died, whilst in this like parallel world he's been waiting for her. So the whole the confusion and the almost tragedy between like having to decide between the guy who's waited almost eternity for her, and then between him and the guy, Miles Teller, Larry, who she's spent the rest of her life with before she died. It's all right, but I think in the end it just became almost kind of domestic and very. There's loads of arguing, and I wasn't a massive fan. Okay, right. If I sum this up, because I'm gonna have to end this here, quarter of an hour. Fuck. Okay, out of 10, 3. That's it, because the concept is all there. But it needed more in terms of setting the scene, to bring in a few more characters to spice it up a bit, be it humour or drama, and yeah, it wasn't. It was just confusing in the end. It spiraled into this whole argument. I mean, it was great. I mean, again, it was like whoever penned it had clearly thought about deciding between the person you loved and the person you love. So yeah, there is that part to it. But if it hadn't had this storyline, would it have been better? I think it would have been a hell of a lot more funny, because Elizabeth is brilliant at the comic delivery. She's a comedian, but it's an absolute shit show. It didn't know whether it was coming or going. This could have been a farce. I mean, imagine her darting in and out of various doors, running up and down hallways and stuff. Amazing. It became almost like childlike towards the end, the way they're all fighting between each other and arguing. Okay, right, right, this ends here. So end of my reaction. If you made it this far, 17 minutes, congratulations. I'm surprised I made it the whole film. But, that's the only way I can describe it. Clapham Junction. What train are you taking? Which part of the UK are you heading to? Are you heading to the UK? I'll get the fuck out if I were you at this stage of our lives. And that's it. Yeah, it's all there. Very sinister, very, the concept, I love it. It just didn't pan out the way I wanted it to. Yeah, no, sorry guys. I might have to pop down tomorrow to compensate with it's that horror film with the guy from Halloween, isn't it? Oh shit. Right, anyway, whatever. Perhaps I should just take a day off.